Hey guys, good morning. I am so excited to share with you guys 5 tips that have helped me really be productive, and especially this time of craziness that we have going on. It has been a learning experience to say the least, right? So I wanted to hop on here. I wanted to share it with you, my community, and people that I know that are some of you guys are really struggling right now to say, hey, how can I be disciplined in this time where I actually have quite a bit of time? Or at least more freedom with my time, right? So maybe not as structured as it normally is because maybe you're not going into a job. Maybe you are working from home and it's something where you're not really used to that, right? And now you have the kids at home. Everyone's running around like a crazy person. And you're like, what do I do in order to really be productive? So there are very simple things that we can implement today to help you really be productive in your day and whatever your goals are. You don't have to be starting a business, but if you are, awesome. And if you're not, whatever goals you have as far as growth, productivity, just wanting to get things accomplished in a day, these are things that can be tangible and that can really help you out. So one of the first things is that I'm going to talk to you about is, so again, we're going to share 5 tips today. One of them is this. So the first thing is basically writing down your targets the night before for the following day. What do I mean by targets? So to me, there's actually a difference between targets and goals. Your targets are those things that you want to accomplish in the day, right? So for me, I have about 6 things that I say, hey, I literally have the checkbox next to it and I say, these are the things that no matter what happens in my day, I really want to try and get these things done. So for example, obviously I will still have a calendar. I'll still have meetings booked out. I'll still have like a Zoom meeting, or I have to talk to this person or whatnot. I will still have those things going on. But then amongst that schedule, I still will have my targets that I'll write the night before in basically my planner. And I'll say, okay, so these 6 things I want to get accomplished tomorrow, no matter what. And sometimes I get all of them done. And sometimes I only get 4 or 5 of those 6 things done. So for example, one of those things might be literally, hey, call my grandma to see how she's doing. So this is actually important to me because, again, as much as I've structured my day, I really want to have targets and I want to write those down the night before. Why write those down the night before? Because it gets you in the right mindset. It says, okay, I cannot forget that I need to get these things done tomorrow. And trust me, planning the night before will automatically help you get set up for that next day. So if you're in bed, you're talking to your spouse, or maybe you're just trying to plan for the next day, you then can say, hey, let me provide a little bit more structure, get these targets written down the night before so I can plan for the next day. The second thing I'll say to that is, besides targets, you have goals, right? For me, my goals are actually a bit more long-term. So now these things can include, again, where I want to be maybe in my personal growth or finances or my business a month from now, 2 months from now, and even the longer term goal of like 5 years from now. For example, one of my goals, and I write these down twice a day. So I write them down morning and night. Why is this? Because I want to remind myself in the morning when I start out and when I'm trying to accomplish my targets, are these things, these targets that I'm doing, these micro steps that I'm taking are for my bigger goal. Again, I'm writing these down twice a day. So morning and night. And I want to do that because I want to remind myself the mindset, setting that, hey, why am I doing these daily habits? I'm doing it for the bigger goal. I'm doing it for that bigger thing. So for example, one of my goals is to help retire my parents. My parents come from middle class America. They're hardworking people. My dad's in sales. My mom is a nurse practitioner. They're extremely hardworking. And I have a work ethic that is quite from them. But I want to be able to, in the long term, retire them if I wanted to. Can I do that today? I'm not totally there yet, but I'm on my way to being able to do that. And so I want to be able to do that. And for me, that's my goal in the long term. So that is one of my goals that I write down twice a day, help retire my parents. So that's the second thing. So first thing, again, write down your targets the night before for the next day. The second thing is write your goals down twice a day. Okay, so morning and evening. So the second thing I'll say to that is schedule, as far as scheduling the appointments the night before as well and verifying those. So when you sit down, again, you're looking over your schedule for the next day, verify those appointments. So let's say you have 5 things booked out. And again, if you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're working your home-based business from home, there's still a schedule that you can put in place. Just because some people might have less structure from their formal jobs right now, that doesn't mean that your day has to be less structured either. So for example, again, things that you want to have in the next day, verify those appointments. So if you're going to be on the phone with 2 or 3 people to talk about business, or even things like, hey, I have an hour that I want to book out for myself to go ahead and read a book, have alone time. Maybe go over that with your spouse tomorrow. Hey babe, this might sound kind of silly, but from 10 to 11, I really just like need that time for myself. Are you good to watch the kids? Right? Things like that. That structure actually will be extremely helpful. So all that to say, the third thing is verify your appointments the night before. Double check again, if there's someone that you're going to be on the phone with the next day, text them, call them, just say, hey, I'm just looking to verify that you and I are going to be meeting or talking at this time tomorrow. Does that time still work for you? Why do that? Because if that time doesn't work anymore for that person, then at least you can fill it with something else, right? And you're not waiting on that person. It becomes 10 a.m. and they're not able to hop on the phone anymore. So at least you could have booked it out with something different. The other thing that I'm going to say, so the next thing is limit your TV time and your scroll time. So there are obviously really great shows on Netflix right now. And sometimes we all just kind of need that like away time to just kind of like let our brains become a little mush sometimes, right? But you guys, we all have 24 hours in a day, but the problem is, again, the structure. So a lot of people say, well, now I have all the time. And some people say, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with the time because I'm so bored. So if you guys are bored, that just means we obviously need to provide more structure. If you feel like you're a mom and you're running around like crazy and you've got kids running around everywhere, we just need more structure. Now, we all have the 24 hours in a day. Some people decide to fill that with scroll time and TV time. This whole bit is about how to be productive in your day. So you really do have to limit your scroll time. You have to limit your TV time. Why are those things important? One, it's not because I'm just saying, oh, well, obviously it's just a huge waste of time. No, these things actually matter for these reasons. One, TV and what you put and what you're putting into your brain, what you're watching is extremely important right now. So many people are susceptible, obviously, to having what they put in, what they really hear, what they watch. It really influences what they put out. Again, garbage in, garbage out, right? Not saying don't be informed about things, but really monitor what you're putting in, okay? Because this is extremely important, especially right now. People are more in their homes than usual. Maybe people are going outside less right now. And it's really, really important that we have that stimulation of our brains, not that depression of our brains. And that depression really can be from watching too much TV, things like that, and then even just scrolling aimlessly through social media. Now, caveat, if you are on social media and you're building your business in this way, it's obviously not bad to be online, but you still have to structure your time. So have your time online be, you're making the post, right? You're engaging with your followers. You are hosting a live and providing value to your community. Things that are actually building your business or helping you grow in that capacity. Scrolling through other people's feeds, scrolling through online, it really at the end of the day isn't going to be productive for you. And it's not going to be good for your mental health either. So that's the other thing I'll say. So limit your TV time and your scroll time. The other thing I'm going to talk about is booking things obviously in your calendar. Now, it's as simple as saying, hey Siri, set a reminder for time with Karen tomorrow at 2 p.m. Thankfully, Siri didn't respond to that because she did last time. But these are things that are extremely important because it is so simple. Literally every time I'm online with someone and I say, hey, okay, cool, let's go ahead and book a meeting for tomorrow or a time to hop online tomorrow. I always say, hey Siri, set a reminder for this time. And then I'll go back later and actually put it in my calendar. Simple things like this, you guys, are really going to be what helps you guys increase productivity. I am not a naturally organized person. Certainly people will tell you that. I'm always about, hey, let's do this, let's try this, let's go here. But what I really figured out, in order for me to be organized in my business, I have to get organized. In order for me to be productive, profitable in my business, I have to get organized. And these are really simple ways in which to do that. So again, organizing things in your calendar, using your phone, because everyone pretty much has a phone right now. More people are on it than ever because of everything going on right now. So use that time to actually use that device to actually help you increase productivity, not waste your productivity. And then the last thing is for you to really fill your day so you have less time gaps. Now, you're like, well, I'm already so crazy busy at home. Why do I just want to run around everywhere else? It's not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is structure out your day so you actually have things time blocked. And so there really is a space for let's say every hour, right? And again, some activities might take 2 hours. Like, okay, got this play date for my kids. They're going to spend time. I've seen some parents do this really cool thing where they're saying, hey, like we're doing PE time at home, right? So they've had this time sectioned out for PE as if they would have a normal at school, but they're obviously having it at home. And so I think that's a great idea. But my point is to schedule things out and to really have less gaps of time in your schedule. The reason for that is because if something cancels, then fine, you can replace that thing there. But the more unstructured time that we have, the more time that more basically the more it just leaves up to unpredictability, right? And when we're not able to structure, when we're not able to be organized, that really puts things in a state that might inhibit our productivity because it's not planned out, it's not structured out. And again, don't get me wrong, we all have to pivot, right? There are definitely times in our day where you're like, this didn't go as planned. Or I get to the end of the day sometimes and I'm like, wow, I never got to do those things that I really wanted to. But tomorrow's a new day. And again, it's just one of those things where you want to make sure that your time really is filled as much as you can get it, because there will be cancellations. There will be things that don't work out. So then at least you'll have things to bump to in that next time block that are going to help you be productive. So to review, I hope you guys found value in this, because these are really simple, tangible ways today that you can implement those things that will help you today and tomorrow, and obviously beyond as you further implement these things. So to review, 1, write your targets the night before. So again, basically what you're looking to accomplish the next day. Caveat off that is writing your goals morning and evening, so twice a day. These are things that, again, I project a little bit more long-term, maybe where I want to be in a month, 2 months, a year, 5 years from now. For example, mine was helping retire my parents, right? Not quite there, getting there, but that's something that I write twice a day. The purpose in doing that is to be able to set your mind at the vision for knowing, hey, I'm doing these micro habits every single day so that I can get to that long-term goal. So there's that. The other thing, so then the second thing is scheduling things the night before and verifying the appointments. So again, just making sure that that individual, or if you have things time blocked out for the next day, that is set in place for that time. So you can decrease the likelihood that that won't happen and that you're not going to be wasting your time there. The third thing is cut out your distractions. And obviously, again, limit your TV time, your scroll time. Even if you're building business online, that doesn't mean that you have to waste hours and hours and hours online doing things that aren't productive for you, for your business, or for just your personal growth and mental state. The fourth thing is using your calendar and setting reminders. Use your phone. Ask Siri to set reminders for you if you have an iPhone, and if not, I'm sure Android has a feature that will work very similar. But use your phone to set reminders. Extremely important. Will help you even if you're not a born organized person, a naturally organized person like me. I'm not, so I've definitely had to use this and implement this, and it's been extremely helpful. The fifth thing is, filling your day with less time gaps. Again, really try and structure out your day, fill it with as many things as you can, because the reality is that you're not going to be able to obviously do all those things. Now, don't do it where you fill it with 20 things, right? And obviously you feel overwhelmed. We don't want anyone to do that. I'm just saying at least have something structured for at least every hour of the day. And then that way, if it doesn't work out, then you could say, okay, cool, no worries. I can do something else in that time block instead. So those are 5 simple ways, you guys, that we can actually increase productivity today. I hope you guys found it extremely helpful. I'm so happy to be sharing this with my community. If you guys liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and drop comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and go ahead and make sure you subscribe. So have a really good day. I'll talk to you guys soon.